Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. John Haynes, the man with nothing to lose. The man who rules the world runs into the irresistible force of a man with nothing to lose in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get the regular and variant editions of John Haynes, the man with nothing to lose on Amazon.com today. I find it very interesting that even during this coronavirus pandemic, which is taking the lives of millions of innocent people, that these beta males can continue to participate in their spectrum of violent behaviors. Now, this weekend we had two beta males participate in two violent incidents, one here in the United States and one in Canada, that fit right in line with the pattern and profile I talked about in my book, The Man Crisis. Now, the first of these incidents takes place in Rowlett, Texas, where a beta male decided to hijack a Dallas bus and went on a twisted ride where he was hijacking the bus and firing his gun at police officers during a chase through several cities, and eventually the bus wound up getting stopped north of Dallas in Richardson, where police officers finally shot and killed this individual, Ramon Thomas Villagomez. Now, your Ramon Thomas Villagomez, before he decided to hijack this Dallas bus, was wanted in questioning regarding the fatal shooting of his girlfriend. However, most people would look at this as yet another isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the actions that your Ramon Thomas Villagomez allegedly participated in by hijacking this bus and possibly murdering his girlfriend, I see yet another violent criminal incident that fits right in line with the pattern and profile I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And when I look at this Ramon Thomas Villagomez, I see an individual who fits the pattern and profile for being one of these beta male ticking time bombs. Because when it comes down to many of these beta males are oftentimes simmering and boiling in anger for years, and then eventually something happens that leads to them exploding in that rage. And it could have been possible that he had an argument with his girlfriend or an issue with his girlfriend, and this led to him exploding in that rage, and he participated in the possible stabbing death of his girlfriend, but then still he could not stop himself, because as he was still boiling in that anger, he decided to take out a gun and get on this bus, hijack it, and then lead police on a police chase through several cities, where eventually it wound up costing him his life. So when I look at this incident, I see another incident in America's ongoing man crisis, which still continues to go on even during this coronavirus pandemic, which shows me that the issues that these men are dealing with, again, are still continuing to go on, and that even a pandemic will not stop them from participating in their spectrum of violent behaviors, because many of them just cannot stop. Now, a second incident transpired in Ottawa, Canada, where a 51-year-old man took out a weapon and murdered over 16 people, and including one Mountie, during a shooting rampage in Nova Scotia. Now, this murder spree that transpired in Canada, the date of it, I find it to be one of the things that is a part of what happened here, because usually around April 19th and April 20th, oftentimes this is a date that a lot of mass shooters like to schedule their killing sprees around. Now, the date of April 19th and April 20th is something significant, especially to a lot of white supremacists, because this is supposed to be Hitler's birthday, and a lot of times these beta males, when they want to celebrate Hitler's birthday, what they want to do is participate in a murder spree. Now, this individual, he decided to dress up like a Mountie, and he decided to make himself look like an RCMP officer as he was participating in his killing spree. And this again fits right with line in that pattern and profile as related to many of these beta males. A lot of them, they have this obsession with being an authority figure, and they like to imitate authority figures like these Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So what they want to do is they want that power, but because they feel powerless regarding themselves, and they feel that if they put on this uniform, it will allow them to have this power. Now, this 51-year-old Gabriel Wortman, he eluded police for several hours before eventually taking his life. But when they found him, he was wearing part of what may possibly be a Royal Canadian Mounted Police uniform. Again, fitting that pattern and profile of an individual who wanted to have that type of power, felt powerless in his life, and then wanted to use what he believed to be that power to go out here and destroy the lives of people because he felt powerless about his own life. Because a lot of times, these beta males, they feel powerless about their own personal lives, and they want that power, and they want to have that power that they believe figures like law enforcement have, because they are oftentimes extremely insecure about their own manhood, insecure about their own masculinity, and this is how they try to reclaim their manhood and masculinity by going out here and imitating these law enforcement officers in some cases, and then using that power they believe law enforcement officers have to go out here and destroy the lives of others. This is not how a true RCMP officer acts, but this individual, he wanted to put that guise on because he wanted to have that feeling of power as he used his weapon to, and that power to take the lives of innocent people. So this was another one of these beta males who was a ticking time bomb. This was another one of these beta males who was simmering and boiling in anger for years. And this was another beta male who decided to celebrate the around the time period of your Adolf Hitler's birthday by participating in the spectrum of violent behaviors. Now, this dates of April 19th and April 20th, these are two dates most people need to circle their calendars because these are two dates that your mass shooters love to plan their murders around. Because the reason why they want to plan their murders around these two dates is because many of these white supremacists, white nationalists, and white racists, they admire your Adolf Hitler, and they believe that if they go out here and murder on Adolf Hitler's birthday, it is significant to them. So most people don't understand the significance of the date, but the significance of that date period is significant for a lot of these mass shootings and other violent behaviors that many of these beta males participate in, because many of these beta males, especially these white beta males, look up to your Adolf Hitler as a figurehead, and they see him as an icon as related to them taking their power. So when I look at these two incidents, I see two more incidents that fit in the ongoing man crisis in the West. I see two more beta males who have participated in that spectrum of violent behaviors, and I sadly see a lot of people who lost their lives due to the behaviors of these beta males. But sadly, everybody looks at these incidents as isolated incidents and don't connect the dots between these behaviors and the ongoing man crisis going on across the globe, even during this coronavirus pandemic. And it's really troubling that even during a pandemic that is taking the lives of millions of innocent people, we still have these beta males going out here believing that they can go out here and participate in their spectrum of violent behaviors. Now, we really need people to really start looking at this man crisis because it is continuing to get worse instead of better. And it's really troubling, again, that these men will still go out here and participate in their spectrum of violent behaviors, even during a time when disease is ravaging the globe. If you'd like to learn more about the dysfunctional and dangerous behaviors of beta males and the spectrum of violent behaviors they participate in, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback, Kindle format, Smashwords, and the iBookstore. And if you want to try some of my other SJS Direct Men's Issues books, you can pick them all up on Amazon.com, Smashwords, and the iBookstore. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Coming to paperback and e-readers this April, ISIS, the main event. It's carnage inside of a steel cage as the goddess next door steps in the squared circle against the beast from the falls in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, the main event, this April.